What's going on, guys? We're back in the room. Hopefully it should be a bit smoother. I'm hoping. A bit skippy, but regardless, let's get back into it. So kicking things off, S&P here. I mean, judging by the move yesterday in New York session, it was very inducing, very predictable, if you like. Yes, we have technically on the 4-hour point of view, we can note swing points here. And you can note here, we're putting in maybe first signs of a bearish market here, potentially. Like I said yesterday, yes, S&P, any index, they want to go up anyway. But we can capitalize. We can capitalize on the downside when we get signals that tell us otherwise, like the fact that we have momentum shifting bearish on the 4-hour. Now let's couple that with bearish 15-minute, which we're seeing here. If I just run it back a little bit, you can see here, puts in a new high. Here's the low, it breaches that, low, and you can see the points here, the structural points. Super simple here, nothing crazy. Following structure, ranges, liquidations, mitigations, session timing, super simple. Then we shift bullish, and this here, would it look like quite a nice entry? However, I mean, yesterday, look at this. If we're looking at entering here, stop loss below here, the risk to reward wasn't worth it. And I think I mentioned that yesterday. I want to hit at least minimum 1 to 2. And even if I look here, before this happened and took out these lows, let's just run it back a little bit. See here, so yes, we're putting in a new bullish market, okay? It's counter the 4-hour anyway, but it would have been nice to get some buys. I would have taken buys here regardless, because the 15-minute was setting up quite nicely. Regardless of the 4-hour trend here, this is specific just to indices. So yeah, we're just pulling it back. Look here. So yes, we put in a low here, high, a new low. Look how close that is though, and it looks stacked lows, stacked sell-side liquidity to target for future price moves. And it's struggling really to close below the 5.5245. It just kept wicking it, building up liquidity. Yes, we're shifting, but this was kind of the last point of mitigation before it took out the lows anyway, and that's probably why we saw a massive push higher. And it almost brings people into the market. Like, look here, stacked lows, even more stacked lows, and this is going to induce people to go long, 100%. And that 15-minute candle was just not worth entering. It was a fantastic entry candle, but it was just too big. But now, there's a nice short here on ES, but I always wait for New York session to open and see how it develops from there. I can see this easily just taking out this high here, potentially continuing lower. I would favor some shorts here because we're on a 4-hour bearish sort of leg here. 15-minute is continued bearish nature, lower lows, lower highs, and it's contained now. It's contained within that bearish range. So, potentially shorts shaping up here, and I will take some shorts if it sets up. Probably in the next, this candle closed in 3 minutes. I'll probably wait and see what the next candle does. So you're looking at 3:30, 3:45. I usually tend to stay on these streams for about half an hour. I don't want to go too crazy, not go for like a 3-hour stream. It's quite a long time commitments to stay in the stream for 3 hours. So yeah, 30 minutes is optimal. So shorts looking like pretty good on ES here. And like similar to the move yesterday. Look, we're getting quite, if I just drop down to the minute time frame here, we're getting quite the aggressive move higher. And if we're looking at, the lower time frame structure, inside session, we're taking out the highs, and you can see here, new, tries to push higher, fails to do so. Again, trying to push higher. And it kind of confirms that there. So yeah, a waiting game short if I'm looking for shorts would be nice. If it does, it's probably, like I said, it's probably going to take out this high. Potentially, regardless, I'd want to see it do something of such nature. if you're a 1 minute trader, that is. Before looking for any kind of shorts there, you know, that lower time frame confirmation. Other than that, if you don't want to look at the 1 minute time frame, 15-minute candles. Look how that closes. Like this here is looking like a very aggressive bullish close. I mean, 1 minute to go. Realistically, without a sort of heavy news inducement, this is going to probably close bullish like that and take out those highs. And let's just strip it back again. You know, if we're just zooming into this piece of price action, I mean, you probably look at it in the 5 minute or the 3 minute time frame, but yeah, like this sort of range here that we're currently in. And if we just look at it internally, yeah, we kind of shifted bullish. London session kind of stop hunts them, liquidation, mitigation, and such forth, and it pushes higher. So we're kind of putting in some internal bullish structure here, and then this here liquidation just as New York opens for potential longs. But again, those longs, I'd say, quite high risk. You know, you're going against the 4 hour, going against the 15 minute. The kind of only real sort of play behind that is the fact that it's so bullish on like a daily time frame, super bullish, and yeah, the fact you're inside this small bearish range, and it's giving us some nice sort of structure, liquidations, mitigations, mitigations. So favouring shorts at the minute for sure. Yeah, this is Teapot 2.0. Now I'll flick onto the lower time frames because I know a lot of people trade the lower time frames. And as a trader, you know, you kind of, you know, I'm here to make money. You know, I'm not going to be tied down and specific to I'm only doing this one thing and that's the only thing I'm ever going to do. If you do that, you'll come unstuck and you probably won't make any progress. To kind of get that out of your mind frame, like, oh, I need to do this because this is gonna 100% work for me for the next 50 years. You know, kind of come out of that time frame, focus, and you know, you can use specific strategies and nuances, you know, but I'm here to make money, so. And yeah, Teapot, fantastic strategy. 2.0, even better. And the utilization of lower time frames is for those that want it. You know, simple as that. EU. I know what EU's doing. I'm going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close next. See, I mean, if it closes bullish, but let's just look at that, actually. I mean, if it closes bullish for a 15-minute entry candle, it's going to have to come a significant way down here. And I'll probably be looking at a limit order around here anyway. You know, around the 5525 level, potentially. You know, but if we're looking at the 15-minute entry candle, going to have to close down here. And, you know, yeah. I'm probably not going to take a short if it does that. So it'd be interesting to see how it closes. Yeah, EU. I mean, EU short. I've not really been looking at EU, to be fair. Structurally, I mean, from the 4 hour point of view, definitely bearish. Like I said, yes, I think it was yesterday, I touched on it. Yesterday, in alignment with the dollar index is key factors here with EU. If you're trading in line with the dollar index, then that's just more ammunition to take trades on EU in the opposite direction. So the dollar index at the minute is trending quite high, pushing higher. Continuing to do so here in New York session. And like I said yesterday, we maintained the lows, maintained the highs for now, stuck within the range, but this was the last point of mitigation, and we almost knew this was going to happen. This prediction here, and it's probably going to take out these stacked highs here. So if we overlay that to EU, we've got a dollar index that's bullish, and EU we potentially take shorts on if everything lines up. So here, for example, 4 hour bearish. Yeah. Dollar index bullish, therefore more ammunition. 15-minute tries to push higher and it fails to do so. Yeah, so if we just find out some structure here. basic structure, in some lower lows, high highs, and then fails. Fails to do so, fails to continue that small bullish range. This is Asia, so it's regardless anyway. And then coming into today, London session, small bullish push up, and then yeah, New York session just absolutely died. So yeah, definitely some. If I'm looking for shorts, it'd be nice. We've got some nice alignment there. 4 hours bearish, 15-minute bearish, super clean there. In terms of shorts, I don't really know where you would have got in realistically. Out of session here, it's very late, spread hours. So yeah, I mean here potentially around here. If you stops, I mean you could put your stops up here if you're looking for a swing trade. That's fine. But we shifted bullish overnight here, and the bearish nature would have only really shown its hand probably until now or midday today, maybe 3 hours ago. So yeah, no real entry for me here on EU, but it's looking nice for shorts. Some major factors there in alignment with the dollar index. 4 hour bearish, 15-minute bearish, clean. If we just look at EU on the daily time frame, it's just sideways. It just doesn't really, it's not really doing anything, you know. Compared to like S&P, NQ, DAX, it's just not really doing much. I mean, it's okay for those range bound traders trading a range bound strategy. Teapot 1.0, fantastic in a range bound market. 2.0, fantastic in a trending market. So yeah, EU shorts potentially. It would be nice if it came up to like the well priced area, sure. And we'll see some liquidations. I mean, these here aren't really of any significance. So for me, there's probably not going to be any entry, because to ask price to come all the way up here and then take an entry, it's probably not going to happen. And I won't trade EU past probably 4 p.m. anyway, UK time. So yeah, it's a big ask for one pair. So no entry on EU for me, and nothing shaping up this New York session. ES, like I said, is on the cards. Looking quite nice. Looking quite nice. It's kind of maintaining the range here. See how it shapes up. Looking for some shorts here. Do fire any questions in the chat for sure. Also, ask me questions on Instagram. It's good to have questions in the live. And if I'm just looking here for you 1 minute traders, I'll satisfy this for you. You know, we're pushing. Don't really tend to use fair value gaps, although they are quite good. I kind of just use key levels, ranges, trend, more important for sure. If you're on the right side of the trend, in session, you know, trend is your friend is a very old saying that I got taught early on. Anyone trade NQ in the chat? I feel like, yeah, I've said this before, but NQ is probably the most popular traded asset alongside gold inside Top Funder. Super popular assets there. Slightly different, you know. We're seeing some bullish 15-minute here. Yes, the 4 hour for sure is probably going to be bearish, yeah. Although it's quite a tight range. if I just delete those. Quite a high range now, seeing like so. Bearish 4-hour contained within the range. Just a little tickle of the lows there, and then big expansion to the upside in London. Liquidation, big expansion. 50-minute. Looking rather bullish. Like I said, I'm always going to be favouring buys on these indices. Like the sell for ES, yeah, I'll probably take it. It's not really exciting me too much. See how it goes, see how it closes. Thank you, I mean, looking pretty good. Entry here would have been quite nice. Missed that. Although the 50-minute entry candle wouldn't have really been confirmed until this 3 p.m. candle here, so difficult. Let's flick on to the 1 minute. See how it's shaping up. Yeah, fantastic entry there. Wow. Missed that one, unfortunately. Some nuggets here for you. Nuggets. Liquidation. We get that structural shift. Big liquidation. Entry candle here. Confirmation at 257. That. Let me forward. Not taking that, but that would have been very good. I mean, probably would have got tagged maybe like down here. Stop loss below here. Still running. Would have been nice. Good if anyone took that. Yeah, 16.9 seems tight. Not sure what you mean. Because if I go onto YouTube, the recorded session fits in fine. So you send me a screenshot on Instagram or Discord or wherever. Thank you. I mean, we could see pushes above, 19,900 liquidations potentially into a well-priced area, and then continue that downside momentum. But for now, the 50 minutes bullish. Or again, any sort of confidence here in this 15-minute candle? I'll look at the 1 minute. Nah. Staying contained. Nothing yet. We've got a few more minutes to go anyway, 4 minutes. I doubt it's going to give us an entry in that time, fortunately. Click on over to the DAX. There's been some fantastic moves on the DAX here, some shorts. If you do trade the DAX at the correct time session, which is an hour before London. Nice entry here. So, I mean, DAX is it's been a strange one for sure. It's doing exactly what it kind of did at the start of April, towards the middle of April, giving us a nice bearish pullback there, nice bearish leg we can take advantage of. The overall market direction is always going to be bullish. However, we are seeing a bearish market here, and it's trying to go higher in every sense. And I spoke about this before. Tries to go higher, fails to do so. Tries to go higher, fails to do so. And now we're seeing some nice bullish momentum, but potentially short-lived. I want to see at least 18,640, 18,650. We see breaches of that potentially. If we just zoom in here, structurally, we are bullish. We just had a liquidation here. see down upside, sorry, to the next one. 18254. If you're playing the bearish 15-minute in the underlying pullback here, really nice entry here. Liquidations, entry candle, gone. Probably some lower time frame entries, scalings on the way down. Super interesting. Looking very similar to S&P. We've got this bearish leg here. Follow that on. Bearish leg here. Inside ranges goes bullish, liquidation, expansion to the upside. After this low here, potential bullish nature, sure. Nothing crazy. Nah, not gonna get an entry here. Like I said, I got a feeling this is going to take out the highs. This is going to reach for 530. It's super. I mean, I quite like the 1 minute. It's quite it gives you a lot more information, but for some people it can get confusing. It can get a bit of anxiety because you don't know what you're looking for. Now that only really comes when you've got like so much information, like an information overload. But if you know what you're looking for, like I know what I'm looking for on the 1 minute, I know when to look for it and what time to look for it. And at this point, you can look for a lower time frame entry if you want to. If you've got the time to do it and the chart time and you're available to do it, then why not? Is my opinion. But if you have a busy schedule, you work full time, you can only trade from your phone, it's probably not going to be for you. I'd say it's probably definitely not going to be for you. If you're trying to trade the 1 minute on your phone, don't do that. Stick to 15 minute. Even you don't really need the 1 minute, but I quite like it. It gives me a little bit of precision. Being an engineer, that's what I quite like, and it suits my my mindset. Suits me, which is another important factor. You've got to find and have a trade system that works for you, not the other way around. It is a trading business. Business has got to work for you, not the other way around. I mean, this entry candle here, even after a couple of minutes, is looking like there's no real commitment here to the downside. Just looking at the 15-minute candle, look, tries to push lower, fails to do so. It's trying to push lower. We're probably seeing mitigations here inside of the 1 minute. I don't need that. Yeah, it is. I don't need the 1 minute. I can see that on the 15-minute. But we're mitigating the 50% of the wick here. And it's just potentially, that's what I mean, it's probably going to push and take out these highs, which would be an even nicer short setup. If it pushed higher, takes out the highs, that's what would be ideal. So Fed, shoot me on about Evolution Community. It's 137 a month, not 157. Power of community. I mean, you've got two options. You can either spend money on, for example, if you're a prop trader, you're either going to spend money on trying to get funded with the free education, free resources that are on YouTube, on Instagram and whatnot, and you'll spend a significant amount of money, and it'll probably be a significant amount of how would you say, like an emotional journey if you're doing that. Whereas if you've got a community, you've got proper mentorship, proper teaching, then it's just going to cut that journey in half, and it's going to make the emotional factors a lot lower, for sure. So yeah, Looking like highs are going to go, like I just said. Super simple here, guys. Nothing crazy. Just looking at, yeah, shorts. Yeah, interesting. Nothing crazy happening. I mean, it's kind of just staying within this 1 minute range post New York Open. Also, it's interesting to note. Let's just look at this from I don't know, I see point of view. If you trade fair value gaps. So structurally, I guess if we include this here, which is potential, I mean, we could. Not really that concerned. It doesn't really concern me anyway. You see here, we put in this high here. Structurally, we push lower and then we go higher again. So from a trend and structure point of view, pulling back bullet is going bullish essentially. But if we look at it from a liquidity point of view, we went bearish here, but to go back and mitigate and liquidate, we're going to have to go bullish anyway. And you can see these stacked highs here. Stacked highs, liquidation, seeing a big reaction now. I mean, this could be it could be nice. However, look at this and how, just to be mindful how close that is. We're seeing the same thing. When the 50, if this, sorry, not the 50, but when the 1 minute staying within this range here, potentially going to take out these highs. So patience is the key thing here. And for me to take shorts, it's going to have to do something like this. In the time I've got, probably not going to happen. So we'll see. In a quiet New York